Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 333. The Jacksonville Jaguars have obviously already hired Urban Meyer and looking to draft Trevor Lawrence. So we're going to be looking at what this team has in store for 2021 season. But first, question of the day: who is the Jaguars franchise leader in receiving yards? Again, stick around to the end of the video for the answer, and if you know it, comment below. But Jay, like I said, Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, assuming he's going to Jacksonville. What does this team have to look forward to in 2021?
You know, being in the spot the Jaguars is, this is a team that could go from anywhere from 1-15 next year to 16-0. There are so many hidden variables that cannot be determined yet. They might be the best team in the NFL. They might be the worst team in the NFL. They might be smack in the middle at 8-8. New head coach, possibly new quarterback. You got the most cap space in the NFL this year, in this offseason. You have 2 first-round picks. You have a star rookie running back. You have a good receiving core. But the unknown factors in a head coach and a quarterback are probably 2 of the most important positions on your football team. Of course, quarterback is. Coach is definitely up there. So it's really hard to predict right now. But just looking at their schedule, of course, they're going to play in their own division, 6 games, playing the Texans twice, the Colts twice, and who am I missing? Titans twice, of course. Derrick Henry always destroys the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to hop on defense and stop him and change anything for them this year. Texans, I don't think that'll be a problem, assuming Deshaun leaves. And then you have the Colts. That's a big if as well, not knowing who's going to be their quarterback. Colts do have a better roster, but I'm talking at today and time, how the Jaguars would match up against them. We don't know what could change. They could get Trevor Lawrence, and he might be just as good as we think. Urban Meyer might transition to the NFL like he always like he could coach the NFL just as good as he did in college. Maybe they pick up 5, 6, 7, 8 new starters in this offseason, and they could very well take down both the Titans and the Colts and the Texans and go a 6-0 sweep within their own division. But today, right now, it's very hard to predict that. I think my prediction would probably be 2-4 out of their own division. I do think they could pull off 2 wins against the Texans and sweep them, assuming Deshaun Watson gets traded. And then the NFC division they play is the NFC West, the Seahawks, Cardinals, Niners, and Rams. Probably the toughest division in football when everyone's healthy. Wouldn't be surprised if they go 0-4 there, to be honest. I think their easiest or most likely pick up amongst those teams is either the Cardinals or the Niners if they're not healthy again, but I'm sure they will be healthy. So it's not looking good schedule-wise for the Jaguars, and they also play within the AFC. The other division is Miami's division, AFC East, between the Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, and Jets. I think they probably go around 2-2 in there. A lot of numbers being thrown around, but either way, I have a lot of losses heading to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this upcoming season I think will be a great start, and they'll finally click and get some transitions together. But to me, this season isn't about winning. It's about putting together some chemistry and looking at what you have in the long term, not this very next year in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, history shows college coaches don't transition well to the NFL, but I think if there were to be an exception, I would put my money on Urban Meyer. He was a great coach at college, and I was always a big fan of him, and he won championships at 2 different schools. So I think him going to Jacksonville and having success is definitely not unlikely. I'm assuming they draft Trevor Lawrence, and I really think that the reason he's got so much hype around him is because he has qualities that reflect talent in the NFL. I really don't expect him to be a bust in the NFL. So I'm looking at an offense with James Robinson going into his 2nd year, very talented running back, Chenault at wide receiver, and DJ Chark, very talented receivers, and then Trevor Lawrence under center. I think the offense is set. The defense is where I have an issue. The Jags defense struggled this year, and unless they change a lot over the offseason, I don't think they're going to have a very good defense next year. But I think this is a team that can win 7 games. I think that their only win this year was against the Colts. I think they can definitely take a game against the Colts next year.
Yeah.
So in their division, I'm going to say they split 3-3. That NFC West division, I don't know, the Seahawks dropped a game to the Giants last year. They could beat the Seahawks if Russell continues to struggle. So say conservatively,
anything is possible.
Yeah, I know. Conservatively, they steal a game. They go 1-3 in that division. There's 4 wins, and then I don't know. They beat the Jets and the Patriots, who are struggling.
And then their other 2 random games, Bengals, Broncos. Those are winnable. Yeah,
absolutely. So I mean, this Jags team hasn't really been. I mean, 2017 they had a flash of almost a trip to the AFC Championship.
Yeah. Where
they had a top defense with Jalen Ramsey, and I think obviously they haven't been good since then. But I think things are definitely going to look up for the Jags next season when they go from 1 win to I'm seeing 7 wins, and then maybe the next year after that have a winning season.
Yeah, I think everything's finally starting to click together. I just really hope, even if Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer is half of what we think they are, they're going to create success some way or another. I'm hoping Urban Meyer can maybe pull some strings, maybe have some former students that he coached now be in the NFL. Maybe he could pull them over in free agency or talk to them now coming into the draft. Some younger guys he used to coach. I think Urban Meyer will have a lot more connections than we think, but of course it is unknown. Yes, there's been coaches in the past like Pete Carroll that was a college coach and went to the NFL and has great success. However, he has had NFL experience being a positional coach, or college coaches that go to the NFL have at least been a former player. Urban Meyer has none of that. He wasn't a positional coach. He wasn't a player. Yes, he has success in college, but nothing is guaranteed. I like the Jaguars. I think, just like Carson, be right below 500, but I don't think either of us would be surprised if they pulled off a 9-7 or a 5-11. I think really anything's in the realm of possibility, just how many unknown factors there are right now. There's going to be, having the most cap space in the NFL, there's going to be a bunch of players they overpay, such as maybe Chris Godwin or Jadeveon Clowney or Richard Sherman just looking for a last paycheck. But that's going to happen. You know it is. But at least you get a new starter on your team that is ready to play and ready to take off. Maybe Will Fuller from the Texans will come over to the other side of the division and be on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Receiving core isn't their number one priority. But if you get the guy for the right price, I think the Jaguars will be for sure ready to build around Trevor Lawrence, give him the weapons he needs. I think the top priority is definitely protecting Trevor Lawrence, because you don't want to see what happened to Joe Burrow happen to Trevor Lawrence, and getting the defense back to that 2017 AFC Championship level.
Yeah, I think they are at an advantage with Urban Meyer coming in to likely coach a rookie just out of college quarterback rather than throwing a guy from college into a situation with a quarterback that's been in the league for a while. That chemistry doesn't really mesh very well.
Yeah, he's not trying to deal with Tom Brady.
Right. So you're dealing with a guy, you're dealing with a young coach with a obviously background that's very talented, and same thing with the quarterback. No NFL experience, but obviously very talented. So I think that would work well rather than two different experience levels in the league.
Yeah, I'm hoping the best for him for sure.
Absolutely. All right, that's it for the video, guys. As far as the question today, your answer is Jimmy Smith with, I believe, 12,287 yards. Your Jaguars franchise leader in receiving yards. Thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.